this one big threat on Gen G. But the problem is, I don't think he will be the only threat.
Okay, what?
Okay, so we have one dragon with scaling, but what if instead we have 2 dragons with infinite scaling?
And yes, Aurelion Sol did get some changes. He can stack pretty quickly with his Q. Is it going to matter? I'm not so sure. The Poppy does get locked in here as the final pick for the side of Fearex. We like to have fun here occasionally at the LCK. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The Aurelion Sol is being played into the Azir by Chovy as we hop into the Rift for game number 1.
So making sure that you have the opportunity to mitigate that is quite nice. As it makes sense that Gen G would, the same way we've seen Faker do with the Hui, would be looking for an answer into an Azir that you know is just going to keep coming out. That is in the melee carry. I just don't know if specifically Asol is it, and if so, what the larger thought process behind it was. We did, of course, have Asol get some changes. Then he was extremely busted. Then he got hotfixed, and still is stronger than he was before. As Chovy, 59 unique picks. Can't believe he never played it. It was there in the meta for a little bit for a while.
Honestly, we have what, 3? I think Shyvana, Smolder, Aurelion Sol.
Shyvana isn't a real dragon though. I'm a big fan of Shyvana. I don't feel like she really feels like a dragon.
Turns into a dragon.
Well, no, I know that, but does she feel, outside of specifically her E and an AP, like a dragon the way that Smolder and Asol do? I don't think she does.
Yes. They're trying to dive this dragon in the bottom side. I think it's going to work. Not much you can do about that. It's nice tower juggling here. Henna is going to live entirely. Execute does have to flash away, but they get first blood in the bottom lane onto this Nocturne very early on. Pretty unfortunate timing. They were pretty close to that one.
Pace might just use his ultimate to clear out the next wave as well, and that will be the end of it.
Yeah. We got an all-out here on the top side. Desperate to pick up the buckler is clear. He's now kind of behind the play against a Cassante. Does have to flash, but now you're getting ghosted at. You're not getting away from this guy. I'm sorry, Clear. As Cassante will do Cassante things, and Clear does not respect it. And that is a solo kill for Keen.
Big win there for Keen.
Using Nocturne. Maybe not in Pro, just because you don't get to ult off cooldown because people are playing so safe. So that one I feel like is okay. As there is quite a lot of action, actually. Lehens does have to pop his ultimate here, but is stuck around. There's so much CC between the Nocturne and the Nautilus. He will flash over the wall, but here comes Henna as he picks up a kill. Paranoia used just because Willer wanted to play it safe and make sure they got the kill, I guess, but kind of wasted this time around as Canyon goes on a merry little trip to follow Closer around. Try not to get out of position next time, I suppose, Lehens.
Didn't even need to use it. Rather use the Nocturne activation as, Keen going in again.
Yeah, Clear a little bit closer to the turret this time, but the damage is there. Another knock-up as we look at Smolder, and Clear is not in a great spot. As, Clear's going to get solo killed again. Really struggling with the Keen test himself.
The Hexblade altogether. Actually opting into what looks to be Frozen Heart next, so he's going to go for the very gold-efficient items afterwards.
All right, there it is, the flash over the wall. Execute is in some trouble, does ult and flash away, gets away from Mom, and will be just fine. But a nice setup from Lehens. And they both have Hex Flash, so it's not the end of the world.
Does trade his ultimate as well as Henna's for only Paces. That's in of itself is something. As Clear sees Chovy, is not impressed. Willer is here.
Now gonna try to dive on a Chovy who's in a lot of trouble. Did not respect the ability of Nocturne to come on over. That's just another free kill here for Willer. As Chovy kind of just chuckled his way into the lane and is feeling pretty bad about it now. Chovy just stacking over the wall. And as a team, the 5 of them just in the brush. There's a knock on the wall here, actually. Keen in a bit of trouble, takes a huge chunk of damage. And now you don't have that very tanky Cassante at full health. Still gonna run at this dragon for now, as Keen is running way far back to TP back into this fight.
Should be able to, has a lot of gold as well available to him. They're trying to look for the cancel. Don't think they're gonna find it, but ideally they wouldn't want to give up 2 turrets just to get a Drake here. Maybe look for an exit play, but the turret is there.
And, you know, they're busy playing the game, learning about other stuff, and perhaps the analysts should let them know and stuff like that. I'm not saying that Keen specifically is one of those guys, but he is now going 1v3 on Cassante. Not very killable, as you guys can see, as the damage.
Why did we ult him? Why did we ult and ignite the Cassante?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, as now we're running forward. Lahen's with the engage. His mom will go over the top. Huge amounts of damage from both the Dragons as they take out the Nautilus, and now the Poppy clear knocks away 3 people. As Chovy is still going into the 4 of them by himself, essentially. But yeah, kind of a broken up fight here from Fear X, and they will just run away tails tucked. And Chovy has Leandri's as well. So Clear is like, oh, I don't exist anymore. Ooh, nice hook here onto Chovy. Do they have the follow-up as they go in onto the Cassante? And the Smolder's just doing free damage on the right side of this fight here. Lahen totally fine as a massive ult comes in from the side of Chovy, and everybody is just burnt to a crisp. I mean, Paze wasn't touched at all this fight. And just like that, they just crushed them in mid.
He's full health.
He's not done yet, it looks like. He wants more. He's going to flap over this wall. And Henna, yeah, he's just executed. There he goes, 550. Even had a shutdown, because why not give extra gold to the Smolder? And that's going to be the second Chemtech Drake as well. So it's kind of difficult to really criticize at all, as Closer is trying to take out Chovy. He does an insane amount of damage, and he will take him out. And immediately gets executed by a little baby dragon.
Well, if you're the size of multiple galaxies, then he kind of is. Why are they in mid?
You know what? Why not? Nice little ult comes in from Execute. Now they're trying to get onto that back line. Do they have enough to get Paze out of this fight? This time the ult is good onto Canyon, but they don't actually do any damage to Paze. He's once again fine. He flashes away from Willer, and the follow-up was just not there as Willer is burning down. He will not get executed, but Canyon will finish the job. And there it is, clean from Canyon's Lee Sin.
But
Tech W.
Paze doesn't have sums. Maybe that's enough this time around, but Willer isn't here. I don't know if they can do this. Clear needs to find a really big ultimate.
They're going to try, and let's see how it goes. Willer, he could just get on in, and nope. Doesn't get into the pit at all. And yeah, he's not even here. Clear is going to go down, and yeah, Gen.G just going to press their buttons onto Fear-X, who were desperate to try to get in there. Henna will take out one. They're struggling to get on top of this Zeri, actually, who did get a big ult and is kind of ice skating around everybody, but you can't deal with 4 champions on top of you, and that will be the end of that fight. Gen.G have decided that they have waited enough time to to go in for this one. Ult away on the Canyon once again. They're trying to kill Cassante. This time they have an insane amount of damage. Nobody's helping out.
Come on!
Hill is running away to finally get him. And now they're pressing their R buttons on a Chovy, who is isolated, but he is able to dash away as well. Massive ult! It's all 4 of them in the back line. And the damage should be there from Paze as well to finish this one off. Even has an arm guard just to survive at the very end. The Penta, let the little baby dragon get his Penta. Let him have it.
Not the minion.
No, they're slowing him down. The zoom in, the Q comes in, it's a Penta for the little baby dragon. Paze, well done.
And smiles on the faces of Gen.G. Fear-X, they gotta try something, but it just wasn't enough, even without Canyon there and Keen getting blown up. They had to invest so much, and all they got was killing Cassante. Not going to be enough. Gen.G take a deserved 1-0 victory here in the first game, because you know why I felt this.
You voted for Cassante.
I voted for Cassante. Yeah. I want to go back to Double Dragon, Valdez. What is... Oh, we didn't even talk about Talia. Well,
I mean, I just didn't expect Closer to play it.
No, we know why we didn't. Yeah,
First time Talia this season. I certainly hope so for the 4th game so far tonight, as we do hop onto the Rift for game number 2. And so far today, it has been a bit one-sided in a lot of our games.
Yeah.
I hope that this one can be a bit closer.
How are you feeling?
Please no.
Don't flip the game level 1.
Okay, well, they're going to do it. Flash on in from Lahen's as he gets the Q onto multiple. Closer in a lot of trouble here, and the flash comes forward. Chovy picks up first blood. Remember that mid lane I was just talking about? Looks like it's going to go pretty heavily in favor of Gen.G this time around. And so there you go. Just trying to get some aggressive wards down as a team. Didn't expect Chovy, or rather Gen G, as a team to be all there, and they get punished for it. And this is something that Udyr can do. Just be very annoying to the enemy jungler. But Furex are able to support Willer very nicely.
And things right now, hey, he doesn't have flash.
Oh.
A lot of damage. And obviously only has his E, so can't really hit lands as much as I ideally would like to, but still some early laning control. And given how the situation played out, Chovy, until he actually backs, will not be able.
Ooh.
Oh, Execute, you don't have a flash.
Yeah, this aggressive trading, they're beginning to see it. Oh, that was pretty cute. I don't know if it's going to matter as Execute is just dead. Okay, Canyon clears the bottom side of his jungle, hits level 3, goes bot. With all the pressure they were putting on, Gen G are able to punish them. Maybe you can hook the wall, but it's kind of an awkward angle there that's pretty sharp that maybe you don't quite get the hook into the wall you're looking for.
There's a level up.
Yeah, and he's about to find out that Canyon is here. And Canyon just hops the wall. Nearly kills Closer. I think if that Q lands, he goes in there. Closer doesn't have flash.
If Closer doesn't have E, he would, yeah. I'd probably kill him. He can make it work. It could happen this time. Right?
Yeah, I don't think they saw Canyon here. Closer is in potentially the worst spot against this. He does have his flash in a second, and he does barely get it, as meanwhile on the top side, Clear is going to survive here. Fear comes down on Akeen. He's in some trouble, but he is Udyr. He gets the stun down, and he just runs it off. He even gets hit by the Q, doesn't care. Here comes Canyon, and he's going to let them go. Not quite going to chase on that one, and that's just fine. Misses his Q on the minions.
Generate some objectives for his team as we take another look here. The double cookie ends up being huge here. Just the right amount of health. The positioning from Widow there as well, really cute actually.
He's saying that he lives.
Yeah, making sure that he tries to guide him upwards, but this isn't enough. Double cookie, actually making the difference there. Early on, still doing great is the hook.
Yeah, and the Chains of Corruption as well. Lahenz is only level 4. He has to flash away, and now it does move on over to Pays, who does proc his ult. He's trying to take this fight, but the Nocturne is right here, and Pays is free food. That's a double kill. As now Canyon comes in, he'll pick up a kill himself. He's looking for Execute, but with the Nocturne behind him, he's just going to let it go.
Big mistake from the bot lane there as Willer gets out as well. I mean, I like the plan, but I don't know, maybe he had a strong opinion to it one way or another.
Yeah, certain plants, not a big fan of.
Well, I know you hate blast plants.
Yes. Here's Closer. Lahenz is in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have flash this time around. Yeah, he's just dead. That's going to go the way of Henna.
Going to fight in the same way that Willer does. Take another look here.
Okay.
And in a funny way, the flash from Pays actually helps him out a little bit. Because I think otherwise he might have had to walk over.
Please.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Don't forget the huge amount of magic damage from Udyr.
I mean, yeah, it is a lot.
He didn't build a Leandri's. We do have an ult on 2 ults into Udyr. And a hook comes down, and Keen is actually in a bit of trouble. And there you go. Didn't even have ghosts. I mean, he just gets CC'd to death. Meanwhile, Canyon is charging through everybody. And he's just going to turn around as he doesn't want to be isolated behind their enemy lines. As the hook is going to go astray. Q comes in from Canyon, immediately gets stunned up here. He's in trouble, actually, but the damage is coming in from the side of the Zeri. But that's a kill now on the Canyon, and Fearx 5v3 should be able to get this one done. That's a kill now onto Chovy. As Pays is like, man, I was playing this one out, but my teammates just disappeared one by one.
All went in as Pays. Oh, doesn't have to use the summoners. There are some good side steps from the Zeri.
Don't really need to be that close to press your ult button, but, you know, just landing some Qs. Clear, covering the flanks, which is very nice to see. And the vision advantage is going to be in Gen G's favor, that they clear out this mid wave. And they have position in this jungle brush. Is now coming in from behind here as Keen is running straight at that backline. He's being shredded pretty effectively. He gets speared down here, and down he will go. as Keen, again, he thinks he's unkillable, but we know he is very killable, as now Lehen's in a really rough spot himself. He's going to go down as well. And now Gen G, they're going to get hooked here. Chovy is going to be taking huge amounts of damage from Henna, who just flashes away and breaks the ankles of Chovy. But here is Zeri and Lee Sin. Can they do it 2v3? Pei's trying to kite here against a Cassante. It's not quite going to work, as he does get knocked up, and FearX destroy them in the fight.
And that is a huge win for FearX. They set themselves up for Soul Point. They take down the Zeri. I'm pretty sure Claire is about to die.
Yeah, he's dead. You see that they are angling towards the Baron, but not on that fast of a reset. Although the 4v5s have been a little bit of a pain point here for Gen G, as another hook is going to land from Execute. They bring out the Weaver's Wall, as they're really committing to taking down Lehen's here. He is going to get picked off. If the damage comes through, one more rock would do it, but it's the arrow from Henna that does get the job done. And that is now no cow left over here on the side of Gen G.
There was a lot of investment this time around, though, so I don't know if you really want to go for Baron. I think that just to kill it in of itself should be a win. If you can force a fight, though, that would be huge. But Gen G is staying safe here. Big is that Pei's doesn't have a third item yet. Also not going for something with
what is happening in this game? This is zoning the 5 of them away. They have that Azir turret, which they can play around very nicely. As going to use the Unstoppable is Keen, and Pei's able to get over the wall here as well. Chains of Corruption into the air as Chovy gets the 4 of them, and just like that, Gen G decide they want to win a team fight. Chovy has had enough of the fooling around, and Willer will go down as well. It's a triple for Canyon. It's a clean ace, and I think they might just end the game.
Just when we start to get the feeling that they can't keep getting away with it, they can't keep disrespecting their opponents, there's no way that it doesn't backfire. Gen G do this. In the end, all that matters is getting the Nexus, and that they did. The way in which they did it does not deserve any awards.
And that was it. That was the end of the game. Look at the gold graph. Like, what world are we living in?